You've probably seen a bunch of movies about the Wild West, right? Well, today we're going to talk about a real-life American hero whose actual story is way more incredible than anything Hollywood could make up.
So let's start with a big question. What really makes a hero? Is it all about capes and superpowers? Today, we're going to explore a completely different kind of hero. He couldn't fly, and he didn't have super strength, but trust me, his powers were just as real. Unbelievable courage, a super sharp mind, and a deep, powerful sense of what's right and what's wrong.
Let me introduce you to Bass Reeves. He was one of the very first Black Deputy U.S. Marshals west of the Mississippi River. And his story, well, it's just an amazing lesson in what a single person can do with pure determination, especially when things are tough. Now, Bass Reeves' story definitely has what you'd call an unlikely beginning. He was born into slavery, which was an incredibly unfair way to start life. But it was during these really hard times that he started to learn the special skills that would one day make him a true legend of the American West. Just look at this timeline for a second. It shows such an incredible journey. He was born into slavery in 1838, but then he bravely escaped to freedom in the 1860s. And then, and this is the amazing part, in 1875, he didn't just settle down for a quiet life. No, he chose to become a Deputy U.S. Marshal, taking on one of the most dangerous jobs in the entire country to bring justice to the frontier. While he was living free in this huge area that was then known as Indian Territory, which was land set aside for Native American tribes, Bass didn't just survive, he absolutely thrived. He lived with Cherokee, Creek, and Seminole communities, and he actually learned their languages and their ways of life. He became a total expert at tracking and reading the land, skills that would pretty much become his secret weapons as a lawman. So after the Civil War ended and slavery was finally abolished, the country really needed brave people to bring some law and order to the Wild West. And with his amazing skills and his growing reputation, Bass Reeves was, the perfect person for a really important and really, really dangerous new job. Okay, so what exactly was a Deputy U.S. Marshal? Well, imagine you're a sheriff, but instead of just one town, your territory is this massive, wild chunk of land that's bigger than some entire states. And your job is to hunt down dangerous criminals across hundreds of miles, a lot of the time completely by yourself. It was easily one of the toughest jobs in America. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of what made him so great at his job. See, Bass Reeves wasn't about having flashy shootouts. He was known for being super calm and incredibly smart. He would much rather outthink the criminals, and because of that, he earned tons of respect for being so careful and fair. All right, this is where the legend of Bass Reeves really, really takes off. He didn't just enforce the law, he totally outsmarted the outlaws. So how on earth did one man get so good at this in such a dangerous world? Get this, over his incredible 32-year career, Bass Reeves arrested more than 3,000 wanted criminals. Just think about that for a second. With no car, no phone, no modern technology at all, just his horse and his own smarts, he brought thousands of outlaws to justice. It's an absolutely mind-boggling achievement. A lot of the time, Reeves worked completely alone, deep in the wilderness for weeks at a time. He had no backup he could call, so he had to rely on his single greatest weapon, his mind. He was a brilliant detective and a true master of disguise. Okay, here's a perfect story of his cleverness in action. One time he was hunting two really dangerous outlaw brothers. So what does he do? He disguises himself as a poor, clumsy farmer who's on the run. The brothers actually felt sorry for him and let him stay the night. But once they were fast asleep, Reeves just quietly handcuffed them both and brought them in the next morning. Not a single shot was fired. He just completely outsmarted them. But, catching outlaws was only part of his story. Bass Reeves also fought another kind of battle, a more personal one, every single day. The battle against prejudice and unfairness. In a time when a lot of people judged others just by the color of their skin, Bass Reeves constantly had to prove himself. He never got any special treatment. He earned his legendary reputation the hard way, through his unmatched skill, his incredible courage, and an unbreakable promise he made to himself to always seek justice. And that's why his legacy is about so much more than just how many arrests he made. Bass Reeves' life teaches us that real strength isn't about being the toughest person in the room. It's about having integrity and always, always doing what's right. He is powerful proof that a hero can come from literally any background, and that one person's character can truly change the world. In the end, Bass Reeves showed everyone that you don't need a cape to be a superhero. You just need courage, you need intelligence, and you need the determination to always stand up for what's right, especially when it's the hardest thing to do. So his story leaves all of us with a really powerful question. What can we do to be a hero in our own lives?